राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव जय जय Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev. युगधर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, शील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमपदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are meeting after a little longer time. I hope you remember till now what we discussed in the previous time when we met. Do you remember what are the some things what we discussed? Yes. They may not be exactly Mahat, they are potential Mahats. Like that. See what happens is now why we should see in this line because then we become otherwise very biased. Someone has to be like of that caliber, then only we will like respect him, then only like we will serve him. If we don't feel like serving devotees around us, how we can serve someone else? See, for them, they are just coming for some time, for maybe like 5 days, 10 days max. They go away. But then the people, devotees are staying around us. If you don't feel for them, but you're feeling for someone else, then always our feeling will only arouse when someone like that category will come. Will not be able to like connect or feel or serve devotees around us. So the whole consciousness pervades. Like you observed one thing today while reciting prayers, something different happened or usual. While when we recited prayers, something different was happening or it was quite usual. What was that something different? Huh. So generally, what happens? We just have a tendency of rushing through. We just rush through. ये prayers है चलो अभी prayers खत्म किया आगे चलो morning program है खत्म करो आगे चलो. But we never go into it. We don't experience it. My point is that just see like the every word in that what we recited in the prayers is so amazing. See unless until we like take a little slowly we go through it, we don't connect with it. Like for example, we have Sri Chaitanya Mano Hishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam. Like it's like we are the prayer is that when that Sri Rupa Goswami will offer that shelter to me. And see that when you recite with that meaning, the same prayer becomes so enlivening. Like we have this, our Prabhupada's Pranati, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya. What is Krishna Preshthaya? Huh? कृष्ण प्रेष्ठ. हाँ, ये वर्ड पता है, सुना ना आपने? आईडीसी के आप लोगों ने, उसमें आता है डिस्कशन है कृष्ण प्रेष्ठ. हाँ, there are many meanings to it, but one of the primary meaning is someone who is very dear to Krishna. That's one meaning. Someone who has received Krishna's mercy, Krishna Preshta. That's another meaning for that. And then such a person, what he has done is Bhutale, Krishna Bhakti Prachar Bhutale. He has done preaching in the entire world. Then Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami के नाम है नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी. What is Saraswati? Saraswati Devi. Saraswati is actually Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, and Saraswati like Putra and Pautra like that, something like that. So someone who is a like descendant of Siddhanta Saraswati. Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vicharine Nirvishesha. Nirvishesha is impersonal. But where is the impersonalism? Like when Prabhupada used to talk about impersonalism, he used to condemn Mayavad, he used to condemn impersonalism. So Western disciple would think there is some person called as Mayavad or impersonalism, and Prabhupada has a lot of problem with that person. That's why Prabhupada always keeps on condemning him. So where is this impersonalism, by the way? See, we talk about daily we recite it, right? Nirvishesha, Shunyavadi. So where this Nirvishesha, where this Shunyavadi? They are there. They are in society, except me. I can also be impersonal in my dealings with devotees. I can also be like voidist dealing with devotees. So why I'm making this point here is when we talk about serving Vaishnavas or guest, what we're trying to discuss, it's not just an activity what we're doing there. It's an entire set of consciousness what we are cultivating while dealing with devotees. Why? That's why I'm again emphasizing this point. Why? Because unless and until we can experience this or we are able to practice to some extent amongst the devotees around us, there to practice that is difficult. Like it's like saying that spiritual world has to be experienced here. Then only we can go to the place called as spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan. Means what? What is the meaning of experiencing spiritual world here? Is having that Vaikuntha consciousness or that Golok consciousness here. And then we can think of sometime, going to the place called as Golok Vrindavan. So similarly, when you talk about serving the guest, it's like primarily we have to feel for that amongst the devotees. We should have that feeling of, like what we discussed now. When we say Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, then we should immediately understand that I am so impersonal in my dealings. And here is Srila Prabhupada, the Shaktavesh avatar, especially empowered by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. He has come to vanish that impersonalism, maybe outside also, but primarily to me in my heart also. So now just imagine to having a offering that prayer when you before a class you offer prayer in this way, what impact it will have on our consciousness. The same prayer will make such a difference in our consciousness. Same thing when it comes to like in terms of serving guests. That's why we have to experience or we have to like have that. That's why I gave that experiential learning to all of you. I purposefully slowed it down. You might have realized it, right? I slow क्यों हो रहा है? पता नहीं क्या हो गया. But that's the like thought I had to give that experience. So similarly, we have so many prayers like Vancha Kalpadrupasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha. Like, what is the meaning of this prayer? Such an amazing prayer. The person whom I am offering obeisances is a Vancha Kalpaduru. Is a desire Fulfilling tree, that means every desire that the personality has the ability to fulfilling of each and every desire what we can have in our heart. Vancha kalpatarusha, Kripa Sindhu bhi, and he is the ocean of mercy. Kripa Sindhu bhi evasha. Certainly, the original Kripa Sindhu is Krishna, and the devotee is getting that Kripa from Krishna, and then he is giving that to us. Kripa Sindhu bhi evasha, and Patitanam Pavanebhyo. It's not like Patitanam Pavanebhyo. It's Patitanam Pavanebhyo. To such a Vaishnava offering obeisances. So this verse doesn't talk about offering obeisance to pure devotee or Madhyam Adhikari or Kanishta Adhikari. It's to anyone who is chanting Hare Krishna, any devotee in that sense. So just imagine every obeisance we offer can create such a revolution in our consciousness. That's why we have to do things in a conscious way. We say no, like we are part of ISKCON. What is ISKCON? See, Prabhupada was so amazing. That's his genius. He could have ISKC. He would have used these words, right? ISKC. But what he used, ISKCON. So CON word is coming from only from one word. In abbreviation ना क्या होता है कि एक एक word use किया जाता है सबसे. But from consciousness is taking CON. वो उसको balance करने के लिए था. But just emphasize the point कि for us, what's important is consciousness. What really matters to all of us. So this consciousness is something means what we have to be conscious. I think so. I spoke about this. नहीं. So conscious, to be conscious means what? I told past time, remember about this Prabhupada was deities were बोला मैंने past time. Anyways, so once Prabhupada along with the disciples they are having parikrama like what we do daily parikrama of a temple. There are parikrama happening around the Krishna Balaram temple. And then Prabhupada came to a point. Suddenly Prabhupada stopped. Prabhupada said, I am able to see what you are not seeing. They thought maybe like Prabhupada is saying a live Leela manifestation of Shri Shri Radha Sam Sundar. Again, first round finished. Second round again, Prabhupada, same part. I am able to see what you are not able to see. So maybe Krishna Balaram is playing here in the pasture ground. Maybe he's seeing his spiritual master also. Second parikrama, third again. Again, Prabhupada said, I am able to see what you are not able to see. Then they got really bewildered now what he wants to say. But see, Prabhupada said, this is now 7:30 in the morning and still the light is on. Now we are having for the class. That's understood. I'm just saying. Prabhupada said, like, do we need a light? So, see, he said, we are not conscious of, because see, electricity, okay, ठीक है, you may say, I am paying bill, everything is there. But ultimately, it's Krishna's energy. है ना? So, if you're not conscious, then how you can be Krishna conscious? You can't be conscious about things around us, assets around us. How you can be Krishna conscious? Small things like like I remember Bhakti Rasavat Maharaj when he had come. Brahmachari class was there, and Maharaj came out of the class suddenly, and he made everyone arrange the slippers properly in a line. Especially nowadays we have Brahmachari classes time. It's quite arranged, quite better. So why? So is it just a gesture of okay, ठीक है चप्पल लग दिया line से रखा that's it? उतना ही है क्या वो? No. It reflects the entire consciousness of a person. So anything and everything we do, it reflects our consciousness. The way we keep our clothes. We had this Mahavishnu Maharaj. He's known for he's like a person who was so much loving Bhagavatam. Like Maharaj left his body long back. He used to read 8 to 10 hours of Bhagavatam daily. That was his capacity of reading Bhagavatam. So Maharaj would say we have to treat our clothes very personally. We are very impersonal with our clothes. He used to say many times. He used to say that. Like the way we sometimes we dip in the bucket in the morning, forget the entire day. Next day morning we remember, अरे मेरे clothes डुबो के रखे थे. And then sometimes they stink. In summers they stink, है ना? And that's what the same way पानी से निकाल के वापस उसको डाल देते हैं. I'm saying like you have to be so much. So when you are careful with things around you, then obviously the whole thing gets pervade. It pervades your all activities. So what I'm trying to make a point here is when we are trying to learn this aspect of serving mahats or guest, it begins from here. It begins from training our consciousness. It begins from the way we are presenting us and the way we are uh, dealing with things around us. Like for example, chappal can be kept, just you just put chappal and you just come. But if you arrange it in a nice way, it looks so nice. It has such a, the appearance itself is so much. Because see, there is everything in this world has a potential to disturb our consciousness. It can be anything. The way someone talks can disturb us. The way someone eats, है ना, अपन देखा होगा, कोई कोई लोगों को आदत होता है ऐसा खाने का आदत होता है, इट विल सो डिस्टर्ब, आपको लगता है कि ऐसा लगता है कोई आप हाथ से ऐसे जमीन पे ऐसे 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 कर रहे हैं, यू फील सो मच डिस्टर्ब बाय दैट. But there's so many things like that. The way someone laughs, the way someone you know uh, whatever sneezes, anything, we have Shri Guru should say in Brahmacharya ashram, sometimes the way someone is passing urine can also disturb us. There can be something like that. Disturbance can come from any form. So everything in this world has a potential to disturb us. Huh. That's why when you do things, at least in a way that at least they should not create disturbance, we can be careful. If for example, there's a nice formula, everything should have a place and everything should be in its place. मतलब क्या? For example, this where I am sitting, this asana should have a place. It's okay, this is supposed to be go in that window, for example, and then it should be in its place only. Like I'm sure that all of you may be quite struggling sometime with your cleanliness. मेरे को किसी ने बोला नहीं, I'm just saying this is everywhere it happens. Last time I was telling you how one has to feel that unclean thing. अगर feel नहीं करता है व्यक्ति, मतलब you are so much in sync with that mode which is there, which is quite predominantly present in that place. So when you have a place for everything and you're putting everything in its place, it becomes very easy to arrange things, to define that part. So see, when I'm telling all this, you may feel अरे तो guest से क्या connection है इसका? But there's a lot of connection. Like for example, when you're serving someone, you get to see, like when you're serving some Maharaj, they are very specific and very particular about their things. Like, so this is a place they'll keep their unwashed clothes, then wash clothes, books will be here, pen will be there. Then what happens by that, when you have a defined place for everything, that time now your mental energy is not much consumed. Just like in a mobile, sometimes you don't have a tower. तो क्या होता है? जब टावर उसको मिलता नहीं है तो क्या होता है? It keeps on searching. In the process of searching, what happens? Lot of battery is consumed, which could have been utilized for proper place. Similarly, when we don't have things on proper place, lot of our time, energy is consumed and is wasted. Just look for it. अरे मैंने कल यहाँ पे रखा था, मिल नहीं रहा है कहाँ? Sometimes so much time goes in that way. तो ये सारे principles की मैं बोल रहा हूँ आपको, क्योंकि जैसे when you are serving someone, so you have to be very very particular and very clear in your consciousness while serving them. अदरवाइज क्या होगा, फिर वो बहुत कंफर्टेबिलिटी नहीं होता है फिर व्यक्ति के साथ. वो व्यक्ति को लगता है अरे क्या, देन डांट सुनना पड़ता है, सब चीज आता है. बट व्हेन वी place ourselves in the right consciousness and right way with right certain things, then it becomes very easy for us to deal with them. So that's why we have to be very very, so if you see DT worship, when I talk about DT worship, so DT worship, there are 5 aspects of the DT worship. I'll not go into details, but DT worship, one of the important aspects of DT worship is swadhyaya. Out of the 5 aspects, one is like taking bath, and then it's called ijja, and then abhigamana. There are a lot of technical terms are there. We'll not go into it. So like it's like collecting the items for the worship from the pure source, getting good things and all those things. And then one of the, so DT worship is not completed unless you do swadhyaya. Similarly, when you're serving someone, so there we have DTs who may not at time respond to us. They are always smiling. You never see like अरे क्या बनाया आज आपने, ब्रेकफास्ट में तो एकदम नमक ज्यादा हो गया आज, और स्वीट में थोड़ा शुगर की जगह कुछ और ही आ गया. They never say that, है ना? But when you are serving a personality, of course they are also personality, but I'm just making a point where someone is going to reciprocate with you directly, with them it's quite challenging. Why it's challenging? So you're going to get feedback. है ना? I remember once in my initial days as serving Navigandra Maharaj. I was not knowing many things. I was also learning. That time we made some prasadam for Maharaj. We offered to the photos. And then generally what we should do, we tasted it. But then his disciples got very angry with us. सर ये सब हम महाराज को नहीं ऑफर कर सकते. मैं बोला मैं क्या हमने क्या किया मतलब हमने बस उसको टेस्ट किया देने से पहले जैसे व्हेन यू सर्विंग समवन यू टेस्ट. जैसे आपको किचन में बनता होगा प्रसाद यू टेस्ट बिफोर सर्विंग टू डिवोटीज बिकॉज नमक ज्यादा है कम है जो भी है एडजस्ट करने के लिए. नाउ फॉर देम इट वाज लाइक like just like for deities you don't taste before serving them. Just similarly when you're serving them you should not taste before serving. It has become like juta only. So that's the way they were serving in that way. So obviously sometimes practically it becomes difficult. So we checked with Radhe Shyam Pr. Said don't worry. You should taste them before serving. That got sorted out in that. I'm just making a point here that how much when you're serving them you have to be conscious from our side. Yes. So last time we were at a point where we discussed how sadhu sangha sarva shastri koi. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. So what is lava? 1/12 of a second है ना. मतलब उतना भी आपने संग कर लिया तो क्या होगा आपका सर्व सिद्धि होए. तो कभी कभी ना हम उसको बहुत वी मे सी दिस थिंग इन अ वेरी वेरी ग्रॉस वे. So 1/12 of a second I met someone, so सर्व सिद्धि होए. It's not like that. So जो भी हमने डिस्कस किया अब तक कॉन्शियसनेस का पार्ट, so what way we are approaching, how what's the way we're connecting with them, the serving them, वो सबके साथ जब हम करेंगे तब that 1/12 of a second will be effectively that can effectively give us all siddhis. But not that just we just out of the blue we come and without any unconsciously we do it. Though like coming in contact with devotee itself unconsciously also has a big benefit. A lot of sukriti will get. But if you want sarva siddhi hoy that shloka, then we have to approach with a proper consciousness. That's why we have example of Mrigarari, Ratnakar, Valmiki. How much time they got of Narad Muni? One sense if we see like in these cases, ऐसा नहीं था कि उनको they were prepared in their consciousness. But Narad Muni's purity was so much, the way he dealt with them was so amazing that they were like dragged towards success. So at least we have to always look forward for this sadhu sangha. So again, when I say sadhu, sometimes we have a weird understanding that sadhu means what? Someone who is a saffron only is a sadhu. Or someone is sannyasi, he's only sadhu. But we can have sadhu at all levels. We can have grihasthas who are sadhus. Like for me, whenever I see Jaydev Prabhu, Jaydev Prabhu, one of our teams, senior devotees of our community. So whenever I see him, interact with him, it's like, I feel like, it's like with some sannyasi I'm dealing with. So refined in his dealing, so much mature, and then so much devotional, what outlook he has towards everything. So it doesn't only means to a specific type of category. It's like anyone who is like having the qualities of a sadhu. Sadhava sadhu bhushana. So Radhe Shyam Pr give the name sadhu bhushan from there. How it begins, that shloka? Trikshva karunika. And then ahead. Trikshva karunika. Ajata sattarva shanta. That's third line. Second line I'm forgetting. Names. So whoever is exhibiting those qualities, you have to like see that sadhutva in them. And if we see, as we discuss how human form is rare, we have this shloka from second canto Bhagavatam. Kirata hunadra pulinda pulkasha abhira shumbha yavana kasadaya yanesha papa yadapashraya shuddhanti tasmai Prabhu Vaishnave namaha. Anyone knows the meaning of this shloka? These are all the list of Papa Yoni. Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Shumbha, Yavana. Yavana all of us Muslims. And then Kirata is actually exactly इसमें क्या है? We have this Mongolians and then Africans and then Greeks, Romans. Andhra is from the Andhra Pradesh place, that region. Khasadaya is Mongolians. Shumba is there. So basically, we are different categories. They are saying even though they may be taken birth in the Papa Yoni, but when they take shelter of a devotee of the Lord, Prabha Vishnave. Prabha Vishnave means that's one name of Vishnu also, but also someone who has taken shelter of Vishnu. So if someone has taken shelter of such a Vaishnavas, then Shuddhanti Tasmai. Shuddhi will happen. Purification will happen to such personalities. So basically means what? You don't require any qualification, even though you are from one of the categories mentioned here. But then you have the opportunity of meeting a bona fide, genuine devotee. Then all of us we have opportunity where we get purified. We'll get an opportunity to get purified. If we have Vasudev, no, why Vasudev wrote Vedas? Sorry, he wrote Vedas, but still he was not satisfied. Then what? He received a higher association of Narada Muni. And by that association, what Narada Muni told him, how I came to Krishna consciousness. That story Narada Muni told. He told him to glorify Krishna and also he told his story. So this is the way I came in Krishna consciousness. Now, what is a very particular part of Narada Muni's story, specific part we get to see there, is when he was with his mother in Chaturma's time, he served the Bhakti Vedantas. And then it's mentioned that with their permission, he took the remnants. कितने बार लिया नारद मुनि ने remnants? Once. Is that another once? I told the story of Ramanacharya, है ना? फिश वाला. फिश ने कितने बार लिया था? एक ही बार लिया. हम लोग कितने बार लेते हैं? हर बार कोई महाराज आते हैं. I think so. पुरुषोत्तम हरिपु or maybe Nayak Sabu may be sending something some Maha. Or you maybe if you know them they may give some Maha. हम लोग कितने बार खाते हैं ना वहाँ. So we don't get to see that such kind of transformation happening with us. So why? Because we again see we have material outlook at times. I told a story of Navendra Maharaj, Karila. नहीं बोला है? चलो वो story बोलते हैं. So Navendra Maharaj was a personal servant of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said told him once कि you make some neem pakoda. तो बोले ठीक है. अभी क्या होता है ना क्या होता है ना with great souls, you can't keep on discussing things. So अरे भाई तो फिर कैसा नीम का पत्ता चाहिए, ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, तो बोल दिया ना बस हो गया. ये आपको आपका बुद्धि यूज करके आगे का काम करना है. तुम्हारे बोला ठीक है, मैं तो कुछ बनाया नहीं अपने जीवन में. तो he just went to in the garden, he found some neem tree, he got leaves from the neem tree, उसको धोया, उसको बैटर में डाला, उसके पकोड़े बने. प्रभुपाद को दिया, सर प्रभुपाद दिस हॉट नीम पकोड़ा फॉर यू एज पर योर डिजायर. प्रभुपाद ने खाया, एक पकोड़ा खाया, बोले यार दिस इज लाइक टू मच, टू बिटर. He said, आपको पता नहीं है क्या, बोले you should. What Navendra Maharaj did was he took the grown up leaves, पूरा जो properly matured leaves को लिया, green leaves को, उसका पकोड़ा बना दिया. प्रभुपाद ने बोला कि you should not take the green leaves, you should take the reddish, है ना, थोड़ा डार्क कलर का leaves होता है, इनिशियल वाला, टेंडर, उसको लेके उसको बनाना चाहिए. तो फिर अभी प्रभुपाद ने थोड़ा सा खाया, उसको छोड़ दिया. And then one devotee came from Africa to Maharaj. Said, "Oh Maharaj, can I get some Mahamar evidence of Srila Prabhupada? Please give me something." तो फिर इनके हाथ में पूरा प्लेट था ही. बोले सी दिस इज महाप्रभुपाद, टेक दिस. वो ड्यूटी खुश होकर फिर पैक करके चला गया अफ्रीका. फिर बाद में महाराज का सेवा चेंज हो गया एंड देन लेटर ही वेंट टू अफ्रीका फॉर प्रीचिंग एंड ही मेट दिस ज्योति. फिर पूछे, डू यू रिमेंबर महाराज यू गेव मी दिस पकोड़ा? So yes, you had come, you had so much of desire of eating those pakoda, Mahaprabhu pakoda. So what happened to them? So he said, Maharaj is still there. I just could not eat it only. तो बोलने का क्या प्रयास कर रहा हूँ कि sometime whenever some Maha comes, what we look at times is, अरे there is some sweet. We look that items in terms of what will give me pleasure. अरे sweet है क्या उसमें? Something item which I like, which is there, I can take. But sometimes from their plate you get even salt. Sometimes from their plate you also get squeezed lemon also comes. मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि हमको लेमन खाना चाहिए, बट मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि just making a point कि sometimes we have a material outlook towards things. That's why that material outlook will make our vision quite tainted with that, and that's why we don't get maximum benefit because we see that in terms of some item. See, in this way, Narad Muni told the story that how he came to uh, Krishna consciousness. That's why from Narad Muni's life tells us what is the life of a sincere devotee in a nutshell. So Narad Muni exhibits us. So this is the way we have to approach our life. So now we are venturing to topic of Mahat Seva. So let us see the word Mahat first. So what is the meaning of this word Mahat? Can anyone of us share? Prabhupada has given the definition of this Mahat in his Bhagavad Gita. Many Baroki, you can tell your definitions. We'll purity of Krishna, Narayana Parayana. Okay. Anything else? Prabhupada says Mahat means someone who is broad-minded. Broad-minded. मतलब broad-minded मतलब क्या? हाँ? सुना ना word before? पहले सुना ना आपने broad-minded. We have this, we have this Kripana and versus Kripana का opposite क्या है? ब्राह्मणा बेसिकली. तो ब्राह्मणा का एक quality होता है, he is broad-minded. Means he is able to understand and accommodate different varieties of thought processes in that. That is a Mahat. Also, a different definition in Bhagavad Gita of Mahat. Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Again, he talks about Mahatma. After many, many births, such a person has come to the right conclusion. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Any other definition from Bhagavad Gita for Mahatma? Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakritam Ashrita. What is Daivim Prakriti? That is someone who is taken shelter of Srimati Radharani. They are called as Mahat or Mahatma. So when Srila Prabhupada asked, so Prabhupada, that time someone asked Prabhupada, in our Krishna conscious movement, how many pure devotees we have? Prabhupada asked his disciple, secretary. So how many disciples do we have? So he said, I don't know what an X number. So we have X number of pure devotees in our movement. Prabhupada said, all my disciples are Mahat, or they are potentially Mahat. Then there's another thing, Daivi Hesha Gunamai, Ma Maya Durattaya, Mameva Prapadyante, Mayam Etam Tarantite. Someone has become actually Krishna Preshtha, shelter of Krishna. He becomes a Mahat. Or someone is a process. See, both things come in this category. One thing is someone has achieved it, and someone is in the process of achieving it. Both. So basically, why do we need these Mahatmas in our life? What is the role of these Mahatmas? Human life is like a junction. At junction, we don't know whether we should go left or right. So Mahatmas are the personalities who will give us the direction. So whether we should go this side, ahead, or stop there. That's the way the Mahatma deals, or he gives us direction. So in this word, Mahanta word is used. Mahanta. What the shloka what we took? 5.5.2. Last time what we discussed. So one sannyasi was giving nice understanding. What is Mahanta or Mahatma? It's called Moha Anta. Mahanta is Moha Anta. In one's association, when you're Moha, what is Moha? Whoever dispels your illusion out, he is Mahatma, in short. So we are discussing various definitions of Mahatma. Someone who is going to dispel your illusion out, he's a Mahatma. Someone who is broad-minded, he's a Mahatma. Someone who is taking shelter of Daivim Prakritim, he's a Mahatma. Someone who has come to the conclusion that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Krishna is everything. He's a Mahatma. So that's why it's a broader definitions. It's not one definition. Okay. One who has ended the illusion. Two varieties of saints are there. Like in this sloka, the last time what we took shloka, there are two things: impersonalist and the worshippers of Bhagavan. Both are called as transcendentalist. And why they're called transcendentalist? Both, yeah, they have to do something. They have to like follow certain process, yama niyama, and all those things they have to follow. That's why they are much more better than the outsiders. So what is Mahat Seva? We define what is Mahat. Let's see what is Mahat Seva. Means yes, following the teachings and serving the 12 Mahajanas and the in their line who is coming to serve them. Basically, bona fide to serving the bona fide gurus or the 12 Mahajanas. And moreover, serving them means what? More than that. How are you going to please them? See, when you serve their mission, that's the one of the very easiest way to please them. No. Like Prabhupada used to say, no, like if you want to please me, then instrument books, for example. Of course, Prabhupada said multiple things in this regard. Once he said that if you want to, someone asked, Prabhupada answered this question differently at different places. So once he said this, and then once he publicly was asked this question. There are many varieties of devotees there. So book distributor thought maybe Prabhupada will say, book distribution Prabhupada will say. The devotees were doing Sankirtan, they thought, okay, maybe Prabhupada will say Sankirtan. But one place Prabhupada gave a very amazing answer. Prabhupada said, what pleases me the most is when you love Krishna. So then this is a very broad term, love Krishna. Everything comes in that. If someone distributing books, now he is showing his love towards Krishna by distributing books. So someone is like serving prasadam. He's showing his love towards Krishna by serving prasadam. When he's cleaning the floor, that's the way he's showing that. So it's a very broader term, but the way we can please them. So as we discussed in that last shloka, fifth canto, fifth chapter, the second shloka, Mahat Seva Dvaram Ahur Vimuktis. Even last time we read that shloka. Dvaram Ahur means what? The doors of liberation, they are like, they become wide open by doing Mahat Seva, when you serve the devotees, basically. So when you talk about service to the devotees, it's service to Mahatmas and avoidance of Asat. This is very important. What is avoidance of Asat? Asat, Sat and Asat, Satchidananda. That is a spiritual nature. Asat means what? It becomes material. So whether one wants to merge into Brahman or become an associate of the Lord. So when you serve the Mahatmas, we'll get a right conclusion. That's what he's saying here. What is Mukti? We are going term by term now. Mahat Seva. Then we saw how by Mahat Seva, Dwaram, Ahur, Vimuktes, Vimukti, one gets Mukti. The doors to liberation becomes wide open. Now what is this Mukti? Means? Means what? मतलब उसका क्या है? How we can actually see? Basically, Prabhupada, one place Prabhupada said, it's like no more material body, no more material mind. You may not have material body, but if you have material mind, that will bind you in this material world. But material body anyway is going to get destroyed, but that material mind has to be purified, has to become spiritualized. Then only you will be, that will help you to go towards the ultimate goal of life. And also, mukti also means change of consciousness. समटाइम मुक्ति हमको क्या लगता है, अरे क्या मुक्ति मतलब एकदम तुच्छ है, तो थूकते हैं मुक्ति पे. बट मुक्ति का एक डीपर मीनिंग ये भी है कि इट्स लाइक चेंजिंग योर कॉन्शियसनेस, मेकिंग योर सेल्फ फ्री फ्रॉम अ नेगेटिव कॉन्शियसनेस, रॉन्ग कॉन्शियसनेस. आप मुक्त हो गए गलत विचारधारा से, दैट्स अ लाइक वेरी पॉजिटिव थॉट अबाउट मुक्ति. So why we do Mahat Seva? Huh? Mercy. Okay. Anything else? We do Mahat Seva for getting Krishna's service. We serve devotees. See, ultimate क्या होता है ना कि see whenever we are serving anyone in this world, specifically devotees, always are conscious in that we are serving devotees, Vaishnavas. Who is a Vaishnava? Someone who is serving the Lord. So we always have connection with Krishna. Krishna is always the center of everything. है ना? For example, when we have our relationships with devotees. So what is center of that? It's not like my feelings. It's the Krishna in the center, and that's why we are friends. Why we are friends? Because he's a devotee. He's trying to be a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am also trying to be a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why we are friends. We are not friends for some material cause. The only cause is because Krishna is center of our life. So the example is given of a child in the womb of a mother. So when the child is in the womb of the mother, can we see the child? But is the child getting nourishment? So whom do we nourish for nourishing the child? Mother, right? So similarly, this example is given by Sarvabhaum Prabhu. He said that um, Krishna is in heart of all of us as Paramatma, right? So when we serve devotees, actually whom we are serving, it's Krishna in the heart of that devotee. You know? Just like I gave this example, when you want to nourish the child, you feed the mother. The child automatically gets nourished through mother. Similarly, when you serve the devotees, even Lord is there in the heart of a devotee. Like we say, no, Krishna se tomara, Krishna dide para, tomara shakati ache. Or one more song it comes, no? Govinda Vishram. This word comes there, Govinda Vishram. तुम्हारा हृदय सदा गोविंद विश्राम. नहीं, गोविंद विश्राम क्यों करेंगे बाबा? He said, no, तुम्हारा हृदय, it's told to a Vaishnava, oh dear devotee, the Krishna in your heart is doing Vishrama. तो क्या हमारे हृदय में विश्राम नहीं करे क्या? हाँ, हाँ, he's there, but in a devotee's heart specifically, Govinda is doing Vishrama. Yes. Yeah, तो कृष्णा बोलते कितना डिजायर करते रहता है. So just imagine, like, sometime we have to become Krishna and stand on the altar and hear to everyone's prayers who are coming. कितना frustrating हुआ ना. Varieties of prayers will be there. Devotees से भी और बाहर से भी. But Krishna, why is doing Vishram in heart of a devotee? Because बोलता इसको कोई desire ही नहीं है ना, एक तरह से. Or he wants to see that, no, he wants to glorify Krishna. So what happens is the devotee is so busy in glorifying Krishna that ultimately Krishna has to glorify his devotee. Prabhupada's entire life's mission was to glorify Krishna. So Krishna made a point that Prabhupada was glorified in the entire world. So basically the purpose of Mahat Seva is to obtain Krishna. Because the Krishna is in his heart. And when someone, sometimes now we feel, okay, let me ask for blessings. Prabhuji, please bless me. कितनी बार बोला होगा हम दोनों को ना. Many times we say like that. But actually उससे ना असली blessing नहीं आते हैं. There was past time Srila Prabhupada, one person was behind Prabhupada. Swami ji, please bless me. Swami ji, please bless me. पीछे पड़ा था प्रभुपाद के. प्रभुपाद के रूम तक गया, फिर बाद में रूम से प्रभुपाद कहीं somewhere he went, वहां पे गया, स्टेशन में प्रभुपाद ट्रेन में बैठ के तब तक ब्लेसिंग दो करके पीछे पड़ रहा था. प्रभुपाद said, you really want my blessings? Swami ji, please bless me. Prabhupada said, I bless you that your entire material life will be finished. भाग गया फिर. तो मतलब पॉइंट क्या है ना कि ब्लेसिंग मांगो, ब्लेसिंग करके ब्लेसिंग नहीं आते हैं. मतलब ठीक है, अ फॉर्म ऑफ ब्लेसिंग मे कम. वो ठीक है, आपको आप आशीर्वाद सर पे हाथ रख देंगे. दैट्स नॉट एक्चुअली ब्लेसिंग. एक्चुअली वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड What is the real blessing? When you serve a devotee, दिल से पूरा इतना आपसे प्लीज हो गया कि अपने आप हार्ट से उसका ब्लेसिंग निकलता है. उसको फिर आपको बोलना नहीं पड़ता जी मेरे को मुझे आशीर्वाद दो, ब्लेस करो. Because you are served in such a nice way, please that person so much that naturally that person feels for you. He'll wish well for you, and such blessing actually has impact on our life. इसलिए हमको मांगते नहीं फिरने का प्रभु जी तुम ब्लेसिंग दे दो, बट सर्व इन सच ए वे. अच्छा we say ना भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर used to say, do not try to serve Krishna, do not try to see Krishna, try to serve in such a way that he wants to see you. वो कब आपको देखना चाहेंगे, बोला यार कौन ये भक्त है इतना अच्छा सेवा कर रहा है, कभी कुछ मांग नहीं रहा है इतना, मतलब वी हैव सुखी, एग्जांपल ऑफ सुखी. सुखी का क्या सेवा था, जस्ट पानी लाके रखो वहां पे बस, कोई बाहर से लेके आएगा, बाहर से वहां पे आके रख दो, हो गया, उतना ही सेवा था. बट लॉर्ड ऑफ सो प्लीज बाय हर सेवा, है ना. सो वी हैव टू बेसिकली डू व्हाट, हमको बस क्या करना है, सेवा करते रहना. और उसमें क्या होना चाहिए, व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी हैव टू सर्व इन अ प्लीजिंग वे विद अ डिजायर कि आई वांट टू प्लीज दिस डिवोटी. सी वी मे नॉट हैव एबिलिटीज टू प्लीज समवन, but we can pray to the Lord, my dear Lord, please give me some. I have a desire to serve them. I want to please them, but I don't have any qualification. But if you give me some empowerment, some thought, give me some intelligence, it will help me to serve this devotee and to please them. So when our intent is like that, and with that prayerful mode we approach, then we can actually please. And when you actually please someone, it's very natural for them to offer that blessings to us. It's very natural. And with such blessings, we get nourished. A little different point I wanted to say. Just like with the blessings, we get nourished like that. There is another way we get nourished in our life is by the affection of devotees. Affection of a devotee also nourishes us. You know that? Like prasadam nourishes us, that we know very, very well. And we take prasad, we feel nourished. Someone blesses us from heart, that also nourishes us spiritually. Similarly, when a Vaishnava offers affection to us, that affection also nourishes us. Nourishment comes with that also. So I am saying, when you serve someone, when you please them, it's very natural for them to show that affection to us. It's very natural. And then at times we'll wonder, why me, sometimes we may feel. In the sense I'm saying that we may get so much, itna milega humko usme se. So what we need to change, what we need to do is not just an activity of serving someone. It's in original place, it's a consciousness by which we serve. So now how do we get that consciousness? One thing is prayer. When you offer prayers to the Lord, prayer is something which is powerful. Bhakti Tirth Maharaj used to say, he made a PRAY. He said, pray until something happens. Push. Push. Sorry, he used to say push. Pray until something happens. कब तक pray करना है? जब तक कुछ तो होगा. कुछ होगा मतलब क्या? There is some change in your consciousness, some change in your thought. At least that we can see happening. Now there may be some change externally in some situation, some person, that may be difficult. But at least we can expect a change in our consciousness. If that happens, then actually we can achieve the success. I think so our time is over and I will pause. Okay, we'll take questions. So today we discuss up to like what is Mahat, who is Mahat, what is Mahat Seva, what is Mukti, and then why do Mahat Seva, and we also saw the example of child in the womb of the mother, how when serving the mother we actually nourish the, we actually serve the child. That also we saw.
That deity worship has five main aspects. One of them is Swadhyay also.
Swadhyaya.
So then suddenly you shifted to some other point, so that part remained.
What I was trying to make a point that whenever we are serving someone, just like we are serving deities, so like their personalities, but then in that case we may not get direct reciprocation. But with them also, the deity worship is complete only after Swadhyaya. So similar lines, Now here we are serving personalities. Okay, someone who is going to reciprocate. They may say some wrong in their conscience, they may correct us. है ना? तो उनके साथ में भी what will complete our Mahat Seva is our Swadhyay. Swadhyay means our sadhana, our reading Srila Prabhupada's books, or hearing, and then our it's not just hearing or reading, it's trying to apply those things, contemplate about those things, and then try to inculcate those principles in our life. So all those things comes as part of Swadhyay. Our spiritual input. See what happens now when you serve anyone in this world. After some time, you get to see all plus minus both sides. Because all of us we have two sides. We have material side, we have spiritual side. What is material side? We get hungry, we get diseased, and then we may feel tired. So that bodily related things may come in the category of material aspect. Sometimes someone have a certain particular स्वभाव, कोई व्यक्ति बहुत गुस्सा कर लेता है, स्वभाव हो गया, material part. Now when you serve someone, what happens is if you don't have that spiritual part, or you don't hear from that person. This is another thing which I learned. Shikshashtakam Prabhu from Nasik, when he was serving Maharaj, so he was making this point. He said, whoever we serve, we should make a point that we should hear from them. So this is what in our temple also. This is what principle I have made for myself and my team. Whomever we are serving, we have to make sure we hear from, because why? When you hear from them, you get to hear the realizations. That is the spiritual side gets illuminated by that. Because material side always, you may always feel after some time you may get little bit fed up, disgusted, whatever. Like we had like Chandrabali Maharaj, for example. Very intense. For small thing, he'll chastise like anything. Small things he'll chastise like anything. कुछ मैं भूल गया एक बार, ऐसा डांट लगा है. पर उससे क्या होता है ना कि we may end up in seeing the material. That's why when you're serving someone, the spiritual side or hearing from them is something which is very very important. Because फिर वो हमको बार बार हमको रीइंफोसिस करने में लेके हाँ एक्चुअली ही इज स्पिरिचुअली एलिवेटेड. ठीक है, जो भी उनका स्वभाव का पार्ट है दैट्स फाइन. That will become secondary, that will become in the background, and what will be in the foreground? The spiritual aspect of that nature. That's why Swadhyay, one level of Swadhyay is to render service in proper consciousness, proper mood, and the second level of Swadhyay is actually hear from the person whom you are hearing, to remove that material outlook what may come up while serving them. Because someone like I remember Prabhu Maharaj, when it come first time as serving sannyasi, he got sick and he got some eye issue. So I was constantly like watering. वो कुछ समय लगता है ठीक है, आँख से इतना पानी आ रहा है, मतलब इट्स लाइक ठीक है, मेरे आँख से भी आता है, उनके आँख से भी आता है. My stomach also gets upset, his stomach also gets upset. So it's very easy to go down the material aspect is very easy. Addressing material one is to go down. It's very normal for us to go down. Consciousness can go very easily down. Anything in this world goes down. But for it to lift up, we need something which is spiritual. That's why Swadhyay is important for that, to lift it up. And to continue to maintain it, we need to hear from that particular personality also, whom we are serving specifically. So all of us, we have made this point in my team, that whenever anyone is giving whomever any sannyasi is there, any guest is, we make sure that, of course, we have service during class also. That's one thing. But along with that, we make a point that we hear from the person. Understand anything? Or is it okay? Yeah.
You told that when you are feeding the mother, you are feeding actually the child
Yeah.
in the stomach itself. So when we are feeding a devotee, you are serving Krishna as Paramatma in that devotee.
Yes. Oh, this is given as an example to make us understand that just like while serving a devotee, sometimes you feel अरे ठीक है, मतलब ये तो एक व्यक्ति को ही सर्व कर रहा हूँ ना मैं. Like when you are serving a mother, giving some eatables to mother, हमको लगेगा ठीक है चाइल्ड को पता नहीं क्या मिल रहा है. मदर को मैं काफी बार क्या होता है ना कि वैष्णव को, एक व्यक्ति को सर्व करते करते वो कनेक्शन काफी और हमको समझ में नहीं आता। हाउ आई एम सर्विंग कृष्णा बाय सर्विंग अ डिवोटी, because when the devotee is pleased and he is happy in his heart, obviously Krishna will be happy in his heart. तो कृष्णा को अलग से प्लीज नहीं करना पड़ेगा।
So one may say like for every living entity, no, for non-devotee also, for any atheist also, Paramatma is there.
Yes.
So it's a kind of philanthropic activity he can do, and
it may go in that way, but unless, see, I'm saying in the context of the discussion is, that's why I said no, Govinda Vishram. In the heart for devotee, Govinda Vishram. And philanthropy may happen only if we are not seeing the connection between this devotee and Krishna. See, philanthropy generally happens for what? Like, for example, there are so many food distribution programs going outside. But how our food for life is different from that?
it's prasadam.
It's prasadam offered to Krishna. So Krishna aspect is more prominent over the food also. Krishna is prasadam. That prasadam will do ahara shuddho, sattva shuddho. The sattva shuddho will help them to like become devotees. Or like we have for this lunchtime, they make chant one round Hare Krishna. So how that is different from philanthropy is because this person is not just a person. In this case, he's connected to Krishna. That's why I said, no, why our relationship, the center of our relationship is Krishna. See, why we are connected? Because you are practicing Krishna consciousness, I am practicing Krishna consciousness. Or why we are friends with some devotees? Why? Now we can have friends with others also, but we know very clearly because they are not yet devotees, they are potential devotees. Future they may become devotees. So we may not associate with them. We may offer that association to them in that sense. Similarly, when you're serving a devotee, it's not like serving any normal person. Because in his case, though Paramatma is in the heart, but the connection is not yet established. Now we are facilitating that person to establish the connection. Why do we do preaching? See, what is preaching basically? What is preaching?
connecting the living entity to Krishna.
Are they not connected previously? Basically, they have forgotten Krishna and we are trying to help them to revive that relationship with Krishna. Yeah. And then we are using different ways and means for doing it. Like we may go for bone distribution. That's one of the way we revive it. We distribute some prasad, use some prasad, or chant Hare Krishna, Harinam Sankirtan. So different ways we revive that relationship with different people. So, as I said, sometimes no example need not to like it's not like a chingam. You can't pull it in all aspects. The example what I gave here for this, or rather what I quoted from Serving Pr. The purpose was that example was to just make a point that sometimes you may not see that while serving a devotee, how Krishna is getting pleased. Just like in the womb, the child is also getting nourished, or child is also getting happy because the mother is pleased. So we may not extend that example to that context. That's why the context is different. Anything else?
Experience. So I just wanted to ask about this. Sometimes we have to say no, or sometimes. So I don't understand. Like, so the devotee gets displeased. So, but actually sometimes we have valid reason. So how do we understand whether I'm making a reason? Means बेकार में ऐसी मैं reason बना रहा हूँ, or is it really
But you
important?
only know.
Sometimes devotees get displeased. So how do you please them? Because we
You see,
also
one
have
thing
to work.
is that when it comes to pleasing someone, it's not that always you can please everyone. That's another principle. Can you please everyone at all times? So my point is, what you can do best, you have to do it. For example, like my mother had expired, and one of my very close friend, he was there in America that time. You may feel, "Arey, my friend should come. My mother has left his body." But what he could do best that time is what he could do best. What he can do best in that time. He can call me, talk to me. And then he was serving Bhakti Charu Maharaj that time, and then he connected me. Like he connected Maharaj he called me. Maharaj spoke. So what he could do best was connect, kind of giving me association of Maharaj, talking to me in passage. That's what he could do best. Similarly, in every situation, whatever we can do best, we should try to do our best. See, point is that when you are genuinely trying to see, at times you can even say no. Like we have Shitlang Gauranga Prabhu, one of our DT ministries. He has told us, you should either say yes or you should say no. But you should not go in the zone where मैं सोचता हूँ थोड़ा सा देखता हूँ like this, like unclear. Never be unclear by communicating. But you are neither saying no, neither saying yes. उसमें हमको नहीं डालना है. You can make a point, Prabhu, I really want to serve. Along with that, these few things are there with me. Right? But see, at least in general, devotees are not very unreasonable. They are quite reasonable. At least whatever I've seen. And again, if that also happens कि व्यक्ति थोड़ा unreasonable है आपके सामने, then you have to talk to like someone who is immediately above. वो तो सब है ना अपने पास opportunities. First of all, we have to be very clear in our intentions. Whether see, like we have this Gopal Krishna Maharaj एक वीडियो आया था कामचोर के ऊपर, something Maharaj very amazingly spoken. महाराज बोलते काफी यार भक्त लोग कामचोर होते हैं. मतलब उनको लगता है, राधेश्याम को रिसेंटली साधु संभाषण में एग्जांपल दे रहे थे. Sometimes there are some devotees they'll keep one round pending, and then service authority comes to them and says, Prabhu, can you do this service? Prabhu, I have one round pending. अब दिन भर पूछो उसको एक ही राउंड पेंडिंग है उसका दिन भर में. They come in this category of that कामचोर. So we have to really see in our life whether भी कभी क्या होता है ना कि you may have your job assignment है, कुछ है, स्टूडेंट्स के लिए उनका स्टडीज है, तो they have to communicate, they have to talk to Prabhu, ये चीज है, if you feel so I can do this but I have this also in my list. कभी कभी क्या होता है कि आपको एक व्यक्ति सेवा बोलता है, दूसरा सेवा बोलता है, भी करें तो क्या करें, किसको प्लीज करें, दोनों को बोलो साथ में आओ बात करो, आप दोनों डिसाइड करो मुझे क्या करना है ना. आप मुझे बोलोगे ये करो तो ये करूंगा, आप बोलो ये करो तो ये करूंगा. Means what? You are not, you are clearly communicating things with them. आप ऐसा मतलब हेजीनेस दे रहे हो. काफी हमारा प्रॉब्लम क्या आता है ना, we give heziness to other person. हेजीनेस मतलब unclear. तो शीतलांगोरम ने हमको बोला था, अगर आपको कोई डीटी वर्शिप के लिए पूछे तो if you have time, if you have everything, say yes, so I can do it. अगर आपको पॉसिबल नहीं हो रहा तो you say that also, प्रभु ये चीज है मुझे करना मुश्किल है. Is it okay? You have something to ask?
So basically, you mean that we have to give these things we have to do and then probably make him able to understand.
We have to communicate properly in a Vaishnava way. Discuss with them. प्रभु आप बोल रहे मुझे करो, but ये भी मुझे जैसे राधेश्याम को खुद आप एग्जांपल देते हैं कि राधेश्याम was in चौपाटी. He was given one service. Then someone came and he said, Prabhu, can you do this service? तो बोले कि I like to do this service, but both of you decide what I should do. आप जो बोलोगे मैं करने को ready. Anything else?
Thank you.
Will end? Thank you. Sorry, I guess. Lot of more time.